again, everyone. I am here with two different Jibun Techos for 2021. I purchased this one, which is the regular Jibun Techo that I have been using this year, which is essentially has a weekly calendar and a monthly calendar. And then after I purchased it or pre-ordered it, even before I got it, I had been looking around at some of the people who have the days. This is a new product for 2021, and it seems to be in fairly limited supply. I got this on JetPens, and I'll put a link below, but I'm not sure if it's going to be still available given the time of when I post this. But I did want to show a comparison of the regular Jibun Techo and the days. So since I have both of these, I'm not sure, I don't think I will use both of them. One of the reasons why I decided to get this days is I was thinking of using this as both a planner and my bullet journal. Because basically given the current state of the world, I have not been planning a lot in my bullet journal, and I thought since there's so little in there every day, it might actually be more convenient to have each individual day that I have here, you know, in my weeks as a vertical, just combine that with my bullet journal. Now, if I do that, I probably will have a separate notebook for what they call collections, which is basically lists of various things. I'll probably have a separate notebook for that, but for just daily bullet items, I would put them in here. So let's go ahead and open up this one. This one I'd already opened up and can't talk today, and took a look at. There's actually a long story as to how I ended up getting this one so late, because I ordered this from Paper and Cloth, I think the store is, in Canada, and they sent me the wrong size. They sent me the A5 Slim, and frankly, I didn't even notice that it was the wrong size until I started to try and put it in my B6 Slim, and then I was like, well, wait a minute, this is way too big. This is clearly the wrong size. Luckily, I had not opened the packaging yet. I had just gotten my notebook out to put it in there. So they did have still some left of the B6 Slim, so they sent me the right size, and I sent them back the other one. So that all worked out. But this particular one that I just unwrapped, this is the Days Mini. Like I said, I think it only comes in the mini size, which is a B6 Slim size. And I got this one from JetPens rather late. This was a restock, but I don't think they're going to be restocking again. You might be able to find it on some other channel or some other websites. I took a look, and I just kind of lucked into getting this one here. So this is all the packaging material here. So the Days comes in two volumes. One is January to June, and then this one is July to December. And then it's the one notebook is it's a little thinner actually than the weekly version here. So basically I would save this until the end, or the mid-year, July, and then I would swap those out. And it does look like the covers are about the same size. I generally don't leave these in their covers when I put them in my traveler's notebooks, just because it makes them stick out a little bit, top and bottom. That might not be the case for a speckled fawns, because they tend to run a little taller. And maybe the Sojourner ones as well, because I do think you can get ones that will accommodate this height with the cover. But the Chic Sparrows, which is what I'm usually using, the top and bottom of the cover does stick out, so I usually take it out of the cover. So let's go ahead and get in here. I will go through this one at the end, but I assume it's fairly similar to this first one. So when we get into, so it has this little cover, which you can slip it in and out of, and the cover itself is black. Let's see, the cover for this one is gray, it looks like, for the weeks, or for the days. So it looks like this one's gray, and then this one is sort of a peachy color. So you get two different colors. And I'm just gonna go, actually, I'm gonna open both of these, and they both come out of these covers. Let's see if I can, I'll stack them on top of each other once I get to the pages. Let's see, so this one has a place for your name, which this one should have too. Let me go back here. Oh, and I should say that this is the Biz. this weekly one, and this one has thicker paper than this one. This one has a fairly thin paper, but it's not Tomoe River. It's I think it's kind of their own deal. I'm not quite sure what paper it is. So then we go to the next page, and this is actually, so this tells you how to use the Jibun Techo, and it has descriptions mostly in Japanese, but it also has the titles in English. Then we have the calendar on this one. We have yearly calendars for the previous year, 2020, and then the next year, 2022, and then a larger version for that. Oh, it looks like it just gets right in there. It doesn't go into the explanation. So for this one, it actually tells you all about how you can use the weeks. This is all in Japan or in Japanese, but you can get translations of this online. And then we have the calendar here. So we have the same 2021, 2020, and 2022. And then we get into this same calendar here. And the colors are more muted here, but they still seem fairly muted in the days. So this basically gives you the whole month and days in a little grid. So you could put some pre-planning or you know, you could use this for really whatever you wanted. And let's see as we get in here. Okay, this one has an age chart. I don't see one here. It has my dream for 2021. I should just put my dream for 2021 is I hope it's better than 2020. That's seriously. Okay, and that has that, and then it has my events. So it's a little bit different. This one has the money plan on the next page. This has 100 wishes list. This one then has the Japan map, and this has some more individual lists here. I think it's a little more flexible, so you can use this for lists of different things. And then it goes into the monthly calendar here. And this actually gives you a template, so if you have things that you do pretty much every week, weekly, you can put them here. I do have a few reoccurring appointments that I put on this calendar, and then it shows up. And basically what I'm trying to decide, since I indicated earlier that I probably will not use both of these for the year, I think I might use one of them for work and one of them for personal stuff. I'm leaning towards using the days as a personal calendar just because I was talking about combining it with a bullet journal, and this might make more sense because you can plan out your days in advance for work. So, okay, so I'm waiting to see where we get into. Okay, so here we have some more lists. We have 100 wishes list, favorite phrases, recommendations, books. I actually did use these lists this year, so like a movie list, things that I watched or things that people recommended, gifts received, gifts given. I actually did do that this year as well, promise list, and then we have a blank list page here. Oh, and so this is kind of a big difference. So here we have habit trackers. So there's one for every month of the year, and you can list what habits you want to track here, and then you just, you know, mark X's or however you want to keep track of that here across the month. But for the days, these are under each and every month. And I actually think that this is a little more handy because then you have the month and all of that in the same place. And that has that for each and every month, and this has a whole section for that. So basically what I've been tracking in here is migraine days, exercise days, days that I do yoga, that sort of thing. And then when we get to the individual months, you'll see the difference. There's still a checklist on either side. This checklist is kind of abbreviated because you have this tracker down below here. And then this has additional bullet lists or checklists on the bottom. So I'm just going to go real quickly through the monthly part here and then do the same for the other. And it looks like pretty much the layout for each individual day within the month is still the same. You have you know, the little mood indicator here for each day, same as with the weekly calendar. Let's see. Okay, so then once we once we get past the months, we get into the weekly calendars, And then once we get past the months in here, we should get to the daily calendars. Oh, and there's actually some post-planning for July and August before you even get to your whole other volume here. So if you have some things that you wanted to plan out just in this book, you could do that here. Oh, it goes actually through, does it go through the whole year? Oh, it does. That's kind of nice. And then you could transfer whatever you have here into this one once you switch. And then for the beginning of every month, there is this blank, sort of blank page where you can be a little bit more detailed about the month and what you have planned. So this would, in my bullet journal, this would essentially take the place of my monthly log. So what I would probably do is I'd put in here, you know, tasks that I hope to accomplish for the month and all of that here. And then as I get to the individual days, I would put that on here. And what's kind of nice is you do have the same as you have here in the weekly. You have the hour map. It's same in both. It's a 24-hour day. So, oh, what's sort of interesting is here, and this is where I was putting sort of my sleep tracker with a little clock here. You don't have that here, but you don't have a what would you call this? Sort of an abbreviated section for the hours 0 through 6. Here they're all about the same, it looks like. But it still shows you sunrise, sunset with the different colors. So here it's the darker color is, you know, here would be sunrise and then here would be sunset, and it has the same thing in pink or red here. And then I see that there's an additional, what I suppose you could use as a habit tracker or as just sort of a checklist up here. It shows you where you are in the month. Yeah, I would have to think about what I would use that for. And what's also nice is here, you know, there's the little weather indicator, and here there's the same weather indicator up at the top of the page, so that's nice. And then down below, again, it has a little calendar. And so I think pretty much every calendar day, that's interesting that they, oh, I assume that red as opposed to blue or gray would be holidays, or they would indicate something different for each day, but I don't know. And you have little marks for each of the months here, which is nice. So you could even automatically go to one month over the other. Yeah, these pages are all the same. Oh, and you still have the mood indicator down here. One of the things that I wasn't really... Okay, I got cut off there because I got a phone call. So what I was trying to say was one of the things that I wasn't really using that often, or I was, you know, kind of slacking on using, was the indicators for the meals. And I don't know that's really helping me keep track of that, so I probably don't really want to be doing that. And if I use this for my work calendar, I'll probably find a different use for these little boxes here. And this doesn't have that, although it does have an area down here which you could use for that purpose if you wanted. Oh, and we have 2 little bookmarks there, which is nice. So as you can see, beginning of a month, there's this little monthly page here. And let's see, do we have anything different in the back? It looks like it pretty much just goes into a couple of blank pages here in the back, and then that's it. And then you go on to the next one. So let's take a look here quickly. And it looks like you have some list pages in here as well. And then your months. And it looks like you have a couple of extra months at the end for the next year. And then you go into the days again. And then I assume it's like that through to the end. And then I was trying to see if there was anything special at the end of this one. Yeah, so you have a couple of blank pages, and then you have looking back on 2021 by month. There's little slots for each month. Okay, and that's that. And then this one, so as you go through all the weeks, there are a few extra blank pages in the back, and then you have the same kind of thing, looking back on 2021. You have a place for your personal information. I didn't fill this out in my current one, and then that's it. So that's just sort of a general overview. If you want to use this just as a standalone, you could, you obviously would replace the current day's notebook with this one once you get to July, and you could use that still in the same folder here. It's kind of interesting that, well, I won't take it out, but so this should have, yeah, so it should have a pen lobe here. It has a little card slot down here, and then it has 3 different card slots up at the front. And there are the Jibun little zipper pouches that will fit into the back here. You would just slide it into the back, or you could slide it into the front. Same with this one. I think the configuration is pretty much the same. Yep. And the pen loop is pretty big, so you could fit a pretty big pen in there. All right, so that was it. I just wanted to compare the two. And if you can't find the days for 2021, hopefully they'll keep offering it in future years, because it does seem like a really nice idea. It's depending on the year and depending on what you want to be doing with your calendar, one might fit your preferences better. But, you know, this is also, you could be looking forward to 2022, see if they have them, but you may still be able to find them now. All right, but that's it for today. Feel free to subscribe so you can keep track of future videos on my channel, and I hope to see you there. All right, in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.